CME gap. We missed the CME gap by 20 points. So we're going to take a look at it and see, does it really matter to miss a gap, by 20 points? Because we got another gap just about 3570 to 3572, right? So we're gonna take a look at it and see if we're gonna be able to basically just forget about the gap, either retrace down to fill the other gap at 9675, something like that, right? And before pushing to the upside, we're also gonna talk about this long-term trend line you're seeing like in front of you, right? So it is a very, very important trend line. We're going to take a look at it and basically talk about it. And we're also going to take a look at XRP, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, BNB, and Ethereum Classic. They're all looking extremely healthy as of now. Okay, so Bitcoin Cash, as you know, we've been looking for 330. But it seems like, okay, the bulls could be losing steam over the next few hours and so on, right? So now let's start off with BTC, and we're going to take a look at the long-term trend line, dated back since like October. If you guys been trading BTC long enough, back in October 2017, market was very, very, very volatile. We got a nasty dump, like the first week of November. This dump right there, okay, was like the first week of November 3rd, something like that, right? It was like November 3rd, I remember exactly. So all the market basically dumped, and then you could remember like ADA, XLM, XRP, they all dumped massively. But the very next week, November 13th, that's when we started the massive pump, right? So when we dropped back then, November 3rd, right, we got a support right there, okay? After a 20% drop, you can see like this trend line we got right around this area. Okay, you gotta remember this trend line because we're gonna keep talking about it all the way up to 11.7, right? So you can see resistance was just about 6100, 6400 range. We pumped to the upside up to like a 78, right? First week of November, and dumped right back down, and then basically continue the uptrend. So this trend line is very important. After we pump all the way up to 10K, we basically retraced down, as you can see, in a WXY correction, and we could not close below this trend line. Very important trend line. So, and at the same time, guys, back in April, okay, 2018 was very important. You guys got to remember, most analysts been extremely bullish, right, about this head and shoulder pattern formation. I was very excited too. Just like now, most people are very excited about the breakout above above 10.5. You can see we had a nice head and shoulder pattern formation back then after the support from this trend line. Pumped to the upside, got rejected, came back down to it, pumped to the upside again. So it is pretty much very, very clean. As you can see how long we've been hugging this trend line, almost like from April to basically November, almost over like 8-9 months we've been hugging the same trend line, and finally capitulated down. But take a look at it, guys. We dropped down to like a 3.8, right? I mean 3.1, and then got a nice breakout from like a 4K area, and then pump all the way up, guys, to a 9K. Okay, got a nice basically flat correction, just like what we are making right now, right? And then pumped it upside, but the rejection area was the same exact trend line. Very, very, very important. The same exact trend line been basically giving us a very, very tough time, right? We pumped to the upside up to 14K and repeated the same exact scenario. Okay, as you can see, we drop, pump, drop, and basically made a head and shoulder pattern formation. We talked about this head and shoulder pattern formation back in August 2019, right? So similarly, that's the same thing we did right there, okay, with this basically support level, and basically created another head and shoulder pattern formation right there, okay, on the lower degree. You can see it, right? So why this trend line is so important, you can see even when we pump 40%, okay, from like a 72 all the way up to 10.5, BTC could not close cleanly above this trend line. Okay, we could not close cleanly above this trend line. So I wasn't paying attention to it back then, but I was bearish. Okay, even though we had a 40% pump, I was still bearish. Okay, so you can see BTC basically could not close above it, and we started shorting it. We shorted it all the way down to like a 79 from like a 10.5 area, right? So once again, 10.5 rejection just about like, you know, February, first week, second week of February. Now we basically facing the same exact trend line, guys. Same exact trend line. You think like it is a coincidence, like BTC basically just getting rejected again at 11.7? Okay, because if you basically back test it, I just showed you like this trend line is almost like what, 3 years, okay, like October 2017 almost to like, you know, October, you know, 2020. Okay, we could be hugging this trend line over the next few weeks, few months, right? I'm not sure, right? But let's say we hug this trend line like over the next 3 months, something like that, or 2 months, I would say, right, till like October. We could hug it before basically breaking out. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that we just have to be very, very cautious. Even though we got a gap at 11.7, 11.7 is a very, very important number. I showed you on a weekly basis also. If you take a look at it on Bitstamp, if you guys new to the content, right, let me show you on Bitstamp on a weekly basis. Let's clean up this mess, right? So on a weekly basis, I showed you like since like January, okay, 2018, January 2018, right? After we closed right at like 11.5, like I think we closed at 11, let's double check, 11.558, exactly, right? After we closed below 11.558, BTC won't able like to close above 11.7. Okay, the very next candle, okay, after this, the week of January 15, we closed the very next candle, we closed at 11.685, not at even 11.7, but 11.685. It is very, very important. So it's been like over 30 months. Okay, we weren't able to close above 11.7. Okay, you take a look at it, same exact area once again. Take a look at it, the 14K area. We made a nice, beautiful flat correction. I was expecting this double bottom, and I was like, if we drop below 8.8, that's it, guys. It is going to be another, you know, 12 months of a you know, bear market. All right, if you can go back and check all my basically video back in like a September, August, right? So we said like if we break 8.8, we're gonna be you know, dropping for the next year and so on. Right now we're going back up to the same exact level, guys, same exact level. So it is going to be historical, like to close above 11.7. I just want to see even 11.685 this week. If we close above it, it is going to be a very, very important you know, closing, weekly close. So it is something like the bulls have to keep in mind and the bears have to be aware of, you know, in order like you know, to be cautious at the same time, because closing above 11.7 could trigger something big. Okay, but getting rejected at 11.7 to 11.9 going to create another high volatility. It could be a downward momentum. As you know, I'm still bearish. As long as we stay below 12K, I'm going to be extremely bearish on the macro scale, right? But if like we break 11, you know, 12.5 and so on, I'm just going to have to be you know, reduce my bearishness and be cautious up to basically 16 and 20K and so on, right? So because on the macro scale, we talked about it yesterday, right? We said exactly if, okay, we break this region of just about 12.5, the chance of the WXY correction going to be reduced up to like 70%. Okay, we can still make this move, right, and drop all the way back down, but the chance of making it is going to be less. Okay, we're gonna have less chance to basically make a bigger WXY correction, right? So but if we get rejected below 14K, especially 12.5 to you know, 11.5 to 12.5 range, it is going to be a very, very good rejection for the bears, right? But the bulls have to basically prove us wrong and basically try to get the close above 11.7 and then keep going to the upside, right? Because WXY correction, I tried to explain to you guys yesterday. If you didn't watch our, you know, live stream yesterday, we said a WXY, it is a continuation pattern. Okay, it doesn't have ending. It is basically just a straight line. You see what I'm saying? What I mean by a straight line, because just because you got a WXY correction, let's say this is a WXY correction, let's say X is right there. Okay, we assuming that's the X, and then we said we're gonna get a Y right there, but the X might not be at 14K. The X might be at 17, 18, just below, you know, just below 20K. As long as we don't break a 20K, anything in this region going to be considered X. Okay, so but we just have to take what we got, right? We cannot basically say, oh, the X gonna be like a 1999, stuff like that, right? We just assume like if we get a rejection, it is going to be considered an X, right? So let's say we pump above 14k and pump like up to 16k, it is still going to be X if we get a rejection. Instead of this going being the X, we're going to call this X. Okay, so this is going to be our X right here. Let's say we just assume like you know, the X going to be at you know, 16, 17, whatever, okay, which wherever we're going to get rejected at, right? So and then we're going to be looking for the Y correction. So we said the same thing. Okay, we said it right there, right? We drop all the way down to 14k, I mean 3k. So when we said like that was X, we were expecting a continuation pattern, right, with this another WXY correction, continue right there. But we said, however, we could possibly make this move, right, and get another X right there and get this move. So you know, it is kind of complex, but the way, you know, you're looking at the market, it is going to be the same way. Okay, it's not going to change anything, even if BC breaks 12k and get rejected somewhere around like you know, above 12k and so on. All right, so another one at 11.9. We don't have a gap at 11.9. I think the gap is at 11.795. Okay, so people have been saying 11.7, but it was like almost 11.8, right? So let's just keep that in mind. It might be a small gap on the lower degree, but it is very, very important, guys, to pay clear attention to the trend line we basically got right there. It is even cleaner on the weekly basis. As you can see, on the weekly basis, you can see like right there. Okay, if you draw the trend line on the weekly basis, you can see that the type of rejection we got. Okay, the dump back in like a first week of November, November 3rd, November 6th, right there, and we got the drop from 20k all the way down to basically 61 to a 57, right? And then we pump back up, drop, hug it right here, trying to escape. The bears, you know, were like, nope, you guys can do it. And then basically we drop back down once again on the weekly basis. It looks clean, guys. Look at it, bang, right? So, and we got this one. So what I'm expecting, at least for the short term, guys, we can get an engulfing bearish candle, right, all the way down to 96, drop all the way down next week to 96, just to fill the gap, just like what we did right here and what we did right there, right, before basically continuing the uptrend. You see what I'm saying? We can drop all the way down, okay, just like 96, 95, and the very next week pump all the way up. That's also possible. So if you're basically very, very bullish, be cautious, because it is a very, very important pattern for BTC to do, right? Especially before a you know, before it picks, right? It usually does it. Okay, so it is something that we just have to keep in mind. So if you're extremely bullish, gotta take some profit, you know, close like 30, 40, 50% of the position, put a stop loss at entry right now, especially if you enter that mid 10k, and basically see what the market going to do next week. Next week could be a very, very you know, volatile week. All right, could be a very volatile week, especially with this you know, 3 years trend line. This trend line is like almost, guys, 3 years. All right, almost 3 years. Okay, so almost 3 years. So you draw it properly, you can see like it is pretty accurate, guys. It is pretty accurate, very, very accurate, very, very strong you know, support resistance level. We gotta be able to break cleanly with a 20% move to the upside to be to start being extremely bullish. So let me take a look at the chat room, see if you guys have any question before I take a look at the Ethereum. Send realist. Hey, what's up, Alonzo? Thanks a lot, K for Liberty. I didn't call you K4W today. K for Liberty. Tezos is looking good. I just sent basically a setup for my group, for the premium group, my strategy for Tezos. I can show you that one, but if you're looking to join our premium group, you can basically see this, you know, Tezos setup. Looks pretty juicy though at certain level, but I would love to wait a little bit. I don't want to basically take it right now, because it is a possible like almost over 15% move. So you still got a chance. But if we don't break like certain key level, yeah, it might not basically be juicy. So let's see if like Tesla's gonna be able to do it. Now let's move on to I want to start off with Bitcoin Cash next before Ethereum, right? So Bitcoin Cash, we talk about it like this breakout. Okay, we're looking for this move. However, guys, we got 0.618, and I told you the other day the 0.618 is like at 305, 306. Regardless, okay, how juicy the market is, Moonboy is going to be taking profit at 0.618 regardless. Okay, we should see some high volatility range, 305 to basically up to 330 range. I'm looking for 330 to 350, but just because we got this 0.618, Moonboys, all they do swing high, swing low, 0.618. Moonboy, they're very good at that, right? So they're going to be taking profit. So be cautious. If we see like if you're not taking profit, put a stop loss. Okay, even though 330, the reason why I'm looking for 330 is like on the lower degree, right? We got a nice resistance just about like 350, just about like 355. Okay, but trying to front run it, you can look for like a 330. So let's just keep that in mind. All right, guys. So we could be getting rejected in this area. I wouldn't be surprised. So closing like 60 to 40% of position and put a stop loss, because we called it like when it was like 242, right? Before even like it closes below above the weekly 21 EMA, right there, right? 247, right? We said if like we close above the weekly 21 EMA, next target going to be 330 range, right? So we hit like 300. It is almost like 20% move. So looks pretty clean. So let's move on to Ethereum now. I'm just gonna make it a short live stream. I might be going live later on tonight too. So just make sure to hit the notification, guys. I might be going live depending on volatility. If like we get high volatility tonight, I'm gonna be going live, right? So let's take a look at Ethereum. We almost at 360, right? So 345, we got less than 10% pump, right? So maybe like 8%. Let's double check. Just about 6%. Okay, so if you took a long anywhere around like 300, it is time to put a stop loss, right? If you're still greedy to wait for another 6% move, not telling you what to do, right? But it is time to consider like start laddering position up to that level. Okay, if you don't want to take it all in, you might want to chop it off, right, and start like a laddering position. But we talk about if we break this 313 range, guys, 320. That's it. We're gonna try to break out to the upside up to 365 to 375. So we still got another 22 or 25 points, right, to take it. But is it good time to enter right now or long? I'm not saying to do it, but if you basically took a long much earlier, you're in good hands. Okay, so it is time to strategize, not to jump in unless you're scalping. Okay, you could be looking at 3x move and try to just take it slow up to that level, right? Because 3 times 6 is 18. That's pretty good still, right? But doing it high leverage after it pumped like from 235 to 350 is not a good idea, right? Just low leverage and a small scalp, and basically get that 18% gain and stuff like that, right? So now let's take a look at Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic kind of it is not doing so bad, right? So the only thing I was concerned about Ethereum Classic is like this 100 EMA. It kind of got a different pattern, because just because it pumped like massively, like starting like November, pump like massively. Okay, so you can see we basically try to close above the weekly 100 EMA. That could be good, at least for the short term. But as soon as we broke this level, I was like, Ethereum Classic, we can pump to 9.8. Okay, we can pump to 9.8. Very aggressive, right? But it's crypto. Okay, if like we get this close, we don't have any other resistance, right? Let's take a look at 3 days. The next one going to be like 8.7, right? So, but you know, if like we hit 8.7, we're going to take a look at, depending on volatility, volume, and all that good stuff, we might basically even close the position 8.7 and basically sit tight, relax, and just hold the coin and just enjoy the ride. That's it. You don't have to basically be too greedy, because you got to remember, guys, when you're long, and you don't have to be greedy, okay? You just don't have to be greedy. That's a 15% move, right? And then from the 6.7, that's 30% move, right? Even a 2x move, that's, if you do a 2x leverage, that's a 60% gain or more, right? So no need to be greedy. And BTC basically get rejected at 11.7. All these coins might be dumping like 20, 30, 40%, or even 50%. So you got to take your profit while you can. Market going to be around forever, right? It's not basically don't believe all that 100,000 BTC in 2020 and all that good stuff. All right. So now let's take a look at basically BNB. So BNB basically struggling. It is moving. It is just moving slow. It is moving like XRP, right? But XRP is now hot. Okay. So King XRP is doing great right now, right? So BNB basically, still looking to a pump to the upside, but BNB got a different pattern. Okay, when BTC is dumping, sometimes BNB can pump. The strategy is clean, a flat correction, right there, just like EOS, right? Pump to the upside. So now we're looking for this extension. Okay, so can we hit like 25, 27? I'm not gonna wait for 27. Okay, 27 is just a directional move. Do not wait for the exact number. Like I said, if you hit 25.5, you got to be able to start like taking profits and laddering position all the way up. Waiting for like an exact number just to make yourself feel good, that's gonna get you wrecked. All right, so take what you get, don't be greedy. Okay, take what you get, don't be greedy. So Bitcoin, BNB, looking for a directional move. Next maximum resistance 26.5, 27, but we got a slight resistance at just about 24, right? 22.8 to 24 level. Okay, but we're gonna take a look at it over the next few days. All right, so now let's take a look at EOS. I mean, it's gonna correct, man. It's gonna correct. You just have to be very patient. Okay, just have to be very patient. It's going to be a very slow weekend, right? So if you're looking to, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you're looking for a short, you want a short while it is up. BTC is up to like a 11.4. Okay, don't wait till it hit like 11.1, 11.2. You're looking for a capitulation and all of that good stuff. Take those 1 to 2% scalp, and volatility going to be low, so no need to be. I mean, I'm not sure if it is going to be low at 100%, but since like we are on an uptrend, right, and the CME already closed, right, so I'm expecting like BTC going to be moving like 2% range, right, 11 to basically 11.2 plus minus 2% range, right, and then till Sunday. All right. So now let's take a look at EOS. EOS target is like 3.3, but as you can see, we talked about EOS already. So we got the daily 100 EMA acting as a resistance. I don't like it. Profit taken, okay, and wait for a break above it or a retracement down to like 2.8, 2.9. If like we retrace even down to like a 2.85, 2.6, that could be by the dip thing. Okay, that could be by the, but it depends. Okay, because we don't want to close like let's say, okay, we do not want to close like at or below 2.8 over the next 1 hour, because this candle is going to be very ugly, right? That's a 3-day candle. It is going to be very, very ugly. So the bulls most likely low volatility over the next 2 hours, right? 1 hour. And if like we open the candle just below 315, that's still good. Even if like we dip down to like a 2.9 to retest the previous 3 days candle low, that's still going to be okay, because the next candle might be very irrelevant, right? Because we've been pumping like all the way up to the upside. We just don't want the next candle to be engulfing. You see what I'm saying? Like dropping all the way down to like a 2.7 and basically 2.6 and close there. Okay, that's a 3-day candle. That's a no for the bulls. Okay, they're not going to let that happen, right? So, but the bears, they just have to wait for the next fib level, okay, which is like 3.3 range. If they can attack at 3.3, they can get a good chance to get a sideways correction or another flat correction right there, because we've been moving cleanly to the upside. And as you know, bulls, they love 1 2 3 4 5, right? So bulls and moon boy, they love 1 2 3 4 5. So they're going to be like, this is wave 1 2 3, and then they're going to be counting wave number 4 right there, 0.618, you know, to 50% pullback, and then they're going to look for this wave number 5, something like that, right? Very elongated or even truncated wave number 5. That's also possible. So best thing to do, it's not time to short it, even though we basically at resistance. 3-day 100 EMA, I would let it go all the way up to 0.618, which is like 3.29 3.3 range, give or take. Don't look for the exact number, okay? Because it depends like which exchange you're using, right? The numbers might be different, okay? The numbers might be different. But somebody says he can see the font, so I don't know if I can increase this. Okay, that's 3.3. That's a maximum it can. I can increase it too. So hopefully you guys can see it, because I'm live streaming on a big screen, so all these numbers are pretty big for me. So if you're watching on your phone, these numbers might be low for you. All right, so let's just keep that in mind. EOS still a hold up to 3.3, but it is time to basically chop, start chopping off some profits, right? So next one we're going to talk about, I think we talked about Ethereum Classic already. Let's take a look at NEO. NEO kind of, NEO is pumping now. So NEO need to break above 12, like right there, 12.5, right? Break above 12.5. That's going to be a long up to like the next level of resistance, right? I wasn't even aware like NEO is pumping, because last time I checked it was like 11.7. This sucker is pumping hard now. So we just need to break this level. So one of the reasons why I said like we just have to wait for us to break this area of resistance is like we could possibly get a deeper flat correction right there, right? And pump right here and get another flat correction right there before going to the upside, right? So this pattern is, I've seen it multiple times, right? I think it not on Ethereum Classic. I don't think Ethereum Classic is making it, but I just saw it like on another pattern also. But let's just keep that in mind. We could possibly, need to break 12.5 to be very confident, like we could be pushing higher. Even breaking 12.5 is not, it is not like 100% guarantee we could pump like to 14, because we got another resistance like at 13, right? But if you basically jump in at 12.5, right, you can possibly look for it to a pump to like a 13.1, and you just bring stop loss at entry, right? Something like that, right? But jumping in right now at 12.1, we might easily get rejected. Okay, might easily get rejected. All right, 3-day 21 EMA about to cross over. 21 EMA crossing over, 100 EMA is kind of bullish, right? So let's take a look at MACD. MACD looks great, right? But I'm not just sure if the MACD gonna make a new high. That's the thing. That's why I'm being very, very cautious, because if the MACD doesn't make a new high right there, right, doesn't break that level, we could get a possible double top, and right, this move could still, it could still pump to the upside, but we're gonna get this divergence. You see what I'm saying on our MACD? Okay, we could get this divergence. So it is something that we just have to keep in mind. But overall, not looking bad. Okay, I would give like NEO 70% chance to break 12.5. Okay, so and a 30% to 35% chance of retracing down to 9.4, 9.5, which is going to be a good buy. Okay, 9.5. You could easily get another 10% pump back to like a 10.8, 10.5 range, right? So it's not in rush. It is just a matter of like being patient, because you got two options. First one, break above it, you take it up there. Second one, drop down to like 9.2, 9.4, you take it back to 10, up to 11 even. Okay, so either way you look at it, it looks great both ways, right? It looks great. A dump looks great, a pump looks great. So Hey, what's up, Steve? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So guys, let's go ahead and take a look at King XRP. So King XRP is still looking very juicy, right? Very juicy. All right, so we right at resistance, so that's what we talked about yesterday. We just have to respect this level of resistance. We just broke it. So XRP next level is like 28 to 29 cents, 29 to 30 cents. I already showed you over the last few days. It looks very clean, guys. Last time I've seen XRP looking this clean was like October, okay, right there, and we shorted it right there at October because we said like XRP, right, buy at 13 back in October, guys, October. So if you basically follow some crypto long-term analysis, you're most likely going to be doing very well, okay? So we said buy where? At 13 cents, okay, 13 to 15 cents, right? And then do not sell until we hit 25 cents, okay? Take 50% profit and let the rest go. That was like October, guys, okay, October. That's when I said it. But yes, it took forever to hit like 13 cents. But the thing is, I don't care about timing. I only care about directional move, okay? This direction, the move can be linear, can be flat, can do this, could take like 2 years even to hit like 13 cents, right? But the main thing is like we did hit 13 cents and now we hit 25 cents, right? So now if you did follow some crypto analysis and you bought at 13 cents, 10 cents, bought the dip, you could be looking for this 25 cents, right? So if we get rejected, we're going to look for the next move to the downside, which could be very crazy, okay? Which could be very crazy. So XRP is still looking very juicy for another possible 10-15% move. BTC has to stay strong, otherwise we already got enough juice of we already pumped enough, almost like 40%. Okay, we already pumped 50%. So everything, everything else is just like a, it is just a plus. Okay, everything else up to like a 30 cents is just a plus. So it is a formal move right now. But the real thing is like right after we break 20 cents, 21 cents. That's where the juicy move was. Okay. Yeah, the CME hit like a 11,775. So let's take a look at the CME now. Now compound is getting pounded. So before we take a look at the CME, let's take a look at compound, right? That's why I was saying last month, guys, be cautious. You seen like many people calling like oh, compound $1 billion market cap, this thing can go to $5,000, all that nonsense. Look at it, guys. This sucker is dumping just like green or grind, whatever, GRIN coin, dumping now 99%, right? If it pumps like 10%, everybody gonna start talking about it again. Just have to be cautious. And I was like, I'm not touching this sucker. Can it reverse? Absolutely. It's gonna reverse at some point, but you gotta give it some time, give it some maturity to give you like enough data. But just like the rest of crypto, it's gonna drop 90% from the top. That's it. That's all you have to remember. I wouldn't touch it, right, until it hit like 90% from the the top, which was like almost $400, right there. I wouldn't touch it all the way down to like a $40 to $50, right? Wouldn't touch it all the way down to $40 to $50. 90%. Every single crypto, guys, 99% of crypto, basically after like a 2018, all those new cryptos, right, drop 90% or higher. Some of them almost drop like 98%, like, or even 99%, like ICX dropped like from what, $11 all the way down, guys, to 11 cents. That's 100x more. That's a 99% drop. This sucker gonna do the same thing. Okay, you just have to remember that. I'm not saying 99, but anything above like 85, you gotta start. If you like it, start like paying attention to it. It is just a crypto trend, all right? It is just a crypto trend. So we cooling off right now, 11,320. That's good, right? That's good for the bears, okay? for the bet. But if like we hit, I'm looking for 11.7. If like we can, the BTC can hit 11.7 itself, that's going to be good. Okay, I would be closing you know, more than 60% of position. I already chop off some at 11.4 just to be sure, right? Not to wait, not to be greedy and wait for the same exact number. Okay, because market is going up anyway, so no need to basically let's take a look at this. Okay, so that's what I was looking for this morning, right? I was like, we got a resistance right there, 11.4 to 11.5, right? We got a trend line. If we break it, we got a nice support 10.8 to 10.9. So but we pumped this level, so you just chop off somewhere, some take your profit, right? Because you know you got another support right there. So I was waiting for either the first retest of 10.8 to 10.9 before going back up, which is like the 1 hour 100 EMA you can add on. But if we hit this level of 11.4, you take your profits, right? And if we get a support 10.8, 10.9, nice support, you can add on. You see, that was a strategy I was looking for this morning. But I woke up and I was like, okay, that's time to basically take it, right? So we're looking good. So let's take a look at 6 hour time frame. So 6 hour, no bearish setup yet. 6 hour 21 EMA right now is equal to the 1 hour 100 EMA, which is roughly around like 10.9, depending which exchange you're using. We got a nice trend line right there. We also got another parallel channel right there and right there. Okay, so either way you look at it, it is a bull flag, but this bull flag is very powerful. Okay, I talked about it back in like when BTC broke like 4K and hit like basically a 5K range, 45, 5K. I talk about it. If you go back watch my second week of April videos 2019, you can see like when I was talking about this type of a bull flag, very strong bull flag. So you know, most of the time you got three type of bull flags, right? You got this one, that one, like you got a bull flag like this, right? And sometimes you got another bull flag like this, right? And sometimes you got another bull flag, just a flat one. Okay, just a flat one. So you just have to understand all these bull flags. Okay, so I like this one because this one is very powerful. It can easily give you a 1-to-1 extension. That's the most powerful. To me, this one is the weakest one, right? And this one is just, you know, in between. But this one is the most powerful one. Okay, this one is medium and this one is the slowest one. But it can be very dangerous though. It can basically just blast off. So that's the one we're making right now, right? So let's see if we're gonna be able to just respect this small flat correction right there, right? And then just pump, or we can come back down, retest this you know, trend line right there. The 21 EMA going to be moving fast. This 21 EMA on the 6 hour, that's a yellow line, not 100, right? So this yellow line, this yellow line right there, not the yellow trend line. Let me change it to blue so it won't be confusing. So this yellow line going to be moving, so any dip most likely going to get supported. So let's just see, like over the next few days, are we going to be moving in a choppy directional move, making a choppy directional move, or are we just going to retest it, pump, or not even retest it and just pump, right? So because the bulls are pretty strong, okay, they're pretty strong, and I'm looking for 11.7, 11.9 and 12.3 range, right? Those are the three I'm looking for. The bottom side 11.8, I mean 10.8, 10.9, okay, because I'm just paying attention to the 1 hour. You know, if the 1 hour, you know, 100 EMA keeps moving to the upside, I'm just going to change my target, downside target, right? So that's the only thing I care about right now. And we talked about it when the 1 hour was like almost 10.3. We said we just have to follow it. Okay, we just have to follow it. So nice selling pressure. As you can see, big sell pressure right there. You know, it is going to slow down. Whenever you see like these big spikes in selling pressure, it tends to basically slow down momentum, regardless whether we move into the downside or we move into the upside. If like we drop, let's say BTC is dropping, lower, 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 and all of a sudden you see like a big sell pressure, right? Big dump. Like let's say you see a big dump right there in red, right? It tends to give you a chance to basically scalp. It is telling you, okay, the trend gonna slow down. Okay, so we drop all of a sudden, right? Let's say the volume is kind of steady right here, and all of a sudden it picks up. You just look for another pullback right here, okay, in terms of like a buying pressure. On the lower degree, that's when you start looking for your 15 minutes 100 EMA, 21 EMA, and all that good stuff for a possible rejection if we pull back. I talk about it many times, right? I talk about this strategy. It is called Zeus method. So strong sell-off, big volume spike, look for a rejection up to your 21 EMA, okay? 15 minutes or even 100 EMA, 15 minutes, okay? You could look for a rejection depending on the market structure. But if you're familiar with it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm gonna talk about it next time. XRP King XRP, Queen Ethereum, Fiat King. Okay, you say Fiat King. So let's see. So let's take a look at DXY. DXY on the hourly, we got a nice divergence on the hourly, so that's a good sign for the DXY. So let's take a look at, we got this bullish divergence right there, so it is a pretty strong one. So what are we looking for, at least for the short term, right? We could look for the DXY to give us another pullback, 0.786, right, max. Do not want to break like this double bottom. Can it double bottom? Yes. If like we get a double bottom, it's just gonna make it a slower recovery. Okay, we could get this slow recovery and then pump to the upside if that's a double bottom, right? But if like we just get a nice pullback, especially 382 pullback, that's going to be extremely healthy. Okay, 382. You gotta remember 382 is your strongest support. But right now, as I was just showing you, after a strong sell-off, your 100 EMA hourly going to play a crucial role. So let's see if the DXY can basically, the dollar index can basically get rejected, pull back to 93, all the way down to like 92.80 range, and before continuing the uptrend. But as of now, it is still making a downtrend. We just broke this trend line right now. We just made a new high right there. We're looking to break this high, which is like 93.65. and start making like high highs, okay, right there. If like we can break it, that's going to be great. Even if we drop down, we just don't want to break this low, 382, 50%, 0.618. I don't know how low it's going to drop, and then we can basically look for another move up, right? But as of now, we're still making a downtrend. We could start to make like a bottom formation, but it is still nasty, okay? It is just a bottom formation, nothing juicy about it, all right? If you take a look at it on the weekly, it looks pretty scary. So it looks pretty scary if you take a look at it on the weekly. So you can see like on the weekly, we hit like 0.618 right there. I was like, okay, if like we hit 0.618, most of the time market can decide to move sideways, retest the previous, previous support and all of that good stuff, but it's not doing that, okay? I mean, I'm not saying it's not doing it, but because that's a weekly, it could take forever to do it, right? So, but what I'm saying is, since we hit basically 0.618 on the lower degree, we are basically making a divergence. So that's a good sign for the bulls, right? So, but we got 0.786 right there, which is like 91 to like a 88 range, right? So that's 0.786. So, but the dollar is looking very, very weak right now. So, but next support level, 91. If we basically fail to make a bottom formation on the lower degree. We already talked about Ether USD, so just move the cursor back, right, and then you can watch Ether USD after I talk about BTC and all that good stuff. So I'm about to call it a day. Let's go back to Ether, and I'm gonna call it a. And I'm gonna go live tonight later on. Market could be very volatile. Ether USD. So Ether USD, what we're saying, like we almost at resistance. So 365, 375. No need to be formal. Not time to jump in. It's time to be conservative. Time to be locking in profits. Right? Bulls, they needed this one. Okay. Ether got beat up really bad. They needed this one. Okay, something to be cocky about and say, oh, we're going to 10K. So Ether is not even a $500. People are talking about 10,000 BTC, 10,000 Ethereum, and all that nonsense. So you see, like last time we talked about 10,000. What happened? We dropped 10,000. What happened? We dropped, and they talking about 10,000 again. This sucker could be dumping afterward. Okay, so just be cautious with all that nonsense. Ether 10,000. Ether gonna be pumping, but it is too soon to talk about Ether 10,000. We're not even yet at all-time high. We're still like almost I don't know, over 80% down. All right, so let's just try to pull back at least 0.618 to 50% pullback from all-time high, and then we're gonna be like, oh, Ether going to like 100K and all that good stuff. All right, so but just be cautious. When I see people talking about Ether, Ether we just double tap 50% pullback. 0.618 going to be like 470, right? And we also got a resistance at 470 right there, right? So let's just clean everything, make it cleaner. So Ether pullback from the previous bull run low, that's 50% pullback, this green line. So and we double tapping. Ether is very critical right now. We double tapping at 50% pullback, right there, 365. Right now we at just about 345, right? So 345 is 0.618 50% pullback. 0.618 pullback going to be just about like 480. So do not fall for that 10,000. Just take it step by step. Next level. If you don't want to basically be looking at the lower degree, just pay attention to the next level, 480 range, 475 to 480. But first thing first, let's break 375. And then if we get a strong momentum, we can look for 480 range. And then after that, we got 0.786, which is like $700 range. So we can hit all these targets. We can, right? But it is too soon to talk about like $10,000 Ethereum. We got to take care of these fib retracements, right? And after that, we just have to flip our fib retracement from swing high to swing low. And we look for 1.27 to 1.41 to the upside. That's $3,000. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it is still high, right? So that's $3,000 if we're gonna be doing it on the opposite direction, right? Before we talk about like 10,000 and so on. But first thing first, once again, let's take care of 365, 375, and then we're gonna try to take care of like 700, right? So 365, 465, and then 780. I mean, almost 800. Okay, almost hit 800. But we're gonna talk about it again. All right, let's not get too excited so far because we got a double top and double bottom. You just have to be cautious. All right, double top, double bottom for Ether. Double bottom, we call both. We call for this double bottom right there. We call for this top. We call for this top, and now we're saying be cautious. Okay, because if BTC get rejected, we could break this double bottom. If we break this double bottom, I'm going to be very bullish on Ether, right? And look for like this the next level of resistance, which is like almost 485, right? So okay, we're gonna talk about it next, okay, later on. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. It is almost time to go play some soccer. So I'll talk to you guys later, and be cautious. Market going to be very, very volatile, and basically I'll talk to you guys later.